Hello, guys. Today I wanted to talk about a topic called control your mind before your mind controls you. And what does that mean? Control your mind before your mind controls you. What does that mean? That means when you make choices in life, you have to make sure that your feelings don't decide what you think in your head. For example, sometimes I feel like playing video games, sometimes I feel like eating junk food, sometimes I feel like staying up late, scrolling through TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. So if I let my feelings and my desires control my mind, then whatever I feel and my mind tells me to do whatever I feel, I'm going to do it. And this will lead to lack of discipline, lack of consistency. You're going to struggle to maintain having success in life and doing what you need to do. But when you have control over your mind, you will do something no matter how you feel. Let me give you an example. For example, when you're laying in the bed and you feel comfortable, but in your mind, you know you need to get up, do something, move, stretch. It's morning, you need to get up and basically do something. But your feeling is telling you, stay in the bed, feel comfortable and relax yourself. But your mind is telling you, no, get up, be active, do something, do some fitness, stretch. Your mind is telling you to do something productive, but your feelings are telling you, I'm very comfortable in the bed. The point I want to make is control your mind before your feelings control your mind. If we let our feelings control our mind, we're going to struggle to make the correct choices in life and we're going to struggle to have success in life. Why? Because the only way to succeed in life is to have control over your mind. The way you think, the way you feel, the way you act, and the way you perform in life. When you let your thoughts control you and your thoughts are coming from your feeling as well, that's not good. Because it's like saying, I don't feel like exercising. You don't really feel like exercising. And your mind is telling you, yeah, you know what? You don't feel like exercising, don't exercise. But in your mind, you're thinking, but I need to exercise to take care of my body, to take care of my fitness. And your feelings are telling you, but I don't feel like it. But you have control of your mind and you're not following your feeling, then you will exercise. And this is a form of discipline. It's so important that if you want to grow in life, if you want to have success in life, if you want to become the best version of yourself, you need to control your mind and you need to avoid following your feelings and your desires. Because your feelings will take you nowhere except it will lead you to your comfort zone. Your feelings will tell you, let's sit down, let's play some video games, let's eat junk food, let's watch porn, let's doom scroll through TikTok, let's just feel comfortable in doing whatever I want to do. And when that happens, you're just following your mind. You're just following your own desires and your own feeling and your own thoughts. And this is not good. Because when you are so used to following the way you feel, most humans, the reason why they don't succeed in life is because they always follow the way they feel. And, in life, you can't always make choices based on how you feel. If you want to feel fit, then making choices based on how you feel isn't gonna let you be fit. Why? Because in order for you to exercise, in order for you to become fit, it's not gonna be an easy journey. It's gonna be hard. You have to discipline yourself and you have to motivate yourself no matter how you feel and no matter how terrible you are that day and no matter if your energy is up and down. You just have to put yourself to go outside there and exercise. And this is life. You have to really you have to really put in the effort to go outside and actually exercise. There's no way of you exercising and being fit if you're just following the way you feel. Because most people, when they feel great, they want to act, but when they feel bad, they don't want to act. And this is where most people don't succeed in life. Because if you follow the way you feel all the time, okay, you know what, I feel like playing a video game, or let me do it. I feel like exercising, let me do it. I don't feel like exercising, let me not do it. This is where the problem happens. When we always follow our desires and feelings, I don't feel like going outside and socializing and talking to people, and I'm just following my feelings, even though my mind is telling me, no, you know what, you should do it. It's going to benefit you. You're going to be stepping out of your comfort zone. It's good for you. But if our feelings are way more stronger than our minds, like we worship our feelings more than we worship our minds, we follow our feelings more than we follow our feelings more than we follow our minds, then we're not going to find success in life. There's no way to succeed in life unless you follow your own thoughts. You listen to your thoughts, good thoughts, of course, and not your feelings. You know, feelings and thoughts, they link together. Why? When you have a feeling about something, that usually turns into a thought. You know, when you don't feel like exercising, usually it goes in your head to not exercise. But there's an other side as well. The other side is, you know what, I should exercise. And this is also a form of discipline. Doing what you know you should do instead of what you want to do. Sometimes in life, we don't feel like doing anything in life. I don't feel like stepping out of my comfort zone. I don't feel like doing something challenging. I don't feel like doing something hard and really putting the most effort. In life, if you want to succeed, don't follow your feelings, don't follow your pleasures, don't follow your desires, because when you follow your feelings, it will only lead you to your comfort zone. And once it leads you to your comfort zone, you're just going to do things that feel easy and comfortable. Your feelings will tell you play video games, stay home, doom scroll, do what you want to do, lay down in bed. There's no point trying to open up a business, it's too hard. There's no point trying to do fitness, it's very tiring and exhausting and it requires a lot of effort. Your feelings are not going to allow you to reach the ultimate success in life. You know, when we make choice based on feelings, this is the reason why we lack exercising. This is the reason why we lack achieving great success in life. This is the reason why we're so behind in life. Because we keep following our feelings. Our feelings isn't going to lead us to where we want to be. While if we have control over our mind and we make appropriate choices, we say to ourselves, you know, let's exercise. It doesn't matter how I feel. Let me go outside and, you know, invest money, grind, work hard, invest money and start business. It doesn't matter how I feel. When you think like that and you're following the thoughts on your mind, because you know it will lead to success, and you don't follow your own feelings, I don't know how I feel about that, that's where most people succeed. Most people succeed when they ignore that feeling, but most people give up when they follow that feeling. Sometimes people feel like, I don't know, I want to be great in life, but it's really hard. Or sometimes people feel like maybe someone is going to judge me, maybe someone is going to call me ugly, maybe someone is going to tell me I can't succeed in life, I can't win in life, nothing is going to work for me in life at all, I'm going to be a failure. You know, when you feel like that and when you think like that, this is why you don't succeed. If you want success, you have to stop following the way you feel. Your feelings will lead you nowhere except failure. Because when you follow your feelings, you're just going to be like, let's work. I don't know, I don't really like that work. But you have to work to invest money and start business anyways. So stop following your feelings and, you know, have control over your mind. I don't feel like exercising. It's uncomfortable. I'm not fit. It's very exhausting and tiring. Exercising is actually good for you. When you exercise, your dopamine goes way below your baseline. After you exercise, it goes way above your baseline, leaving a person feeling energetic, great, and good. But you only achieve that through exercise. And, you know, it's very important that in life, if you want to feel the best, if you want to be the best, if you want to perform the best, in fact, if you want to motivate yourself, do not follow your feelings. Because most of the time, feelings will lead to, you know, we live in a world where dopamine is everywhere, stimulation is everywhere, pleasure is everywhere, comfort, easiness is everywhere. And it's so easy for us to feel like everyone is doing it. Everyone is playing video games. Everyone is watching porn. Everyone is eating junk food. Everyone has an unproductive lifestyle. So why should I not be like them? You know, that feeling. Everyone is like that. Everyone has a 9 to 5 job. Everyone is living a very basic life. Very few people have crazy success in life. You know, why should I not be like that? And when you feel like that, you probably want to follow that feeling. But the very few people, they have discipline. Even when they feel like being like most people, and it's very common, you know, if most people are doing something in life and you want to do the opposite, it's very common that you want to follow what most people do. But this is where life happens, and you have to ignore that feeling. Just because everyone isn't exercising, just because everyone isn't a millionaire, isn't crazy fit, and they're living a very basic life, a very basic salary, a very basic income, it doesn't mean you can't chase that success. Just have confidence in yourself, just believe in yourself, and I promise you, you will reach that success one day. But you will not reach that success if you keep following your feeling. Just because other people are doing something, it doesn't mean you have to do it. Stop following your feelings. Just because it feels hard, it doesn't mean, I should give up. Stop following your feelings. Just because, you know, just because someone is telling you can't do it and you feel like you can't do it, stop following your feelings. You know, it's important that you have to follow your thought. And how can you strengthen that? If you want to have control over your thought and not your feelings, practicing discipline is very important. Doing what you know you should do instead of what you want to do. Also, practice positive thinking. You know, every time you have a bad thought about something or you feel like you can't do something, say to yourself, no, I can do it. I will win in life. I can win in life. Excuse me. I will win in life. I can win in life. No one will stop me, and I know I can do it. It's just about, just tell yourself that you can do it, and I promise you one day you will actually do it. But if you keep following other people's opinion, other people's thought, you know, when you actually practice positive thinking, you have more control over the way you feel. Because when you think positively, and you never give up, you always strive hard in life, you always have a positive energy, then any negative energy you naturally have, or any energy that you have that will try to keep you down, like let's stay in bed and do nothing, you know, everyone thinks I'm dumb, but this is just a feeling, and it's normal to experience negative feelings and negative thoughts once in a while. But when you have a positive mindset, you have more control in your mind just because of a positive mindset. So a positive mindset actually gives you more control over your mind and more than your feelings. It allows you to feel better. It gives you more positive energy. You feel a lot more. You feel a lot more alive, a lot more great, a lot more good. You really believe in yourself, and you really have confidence in yourself. You know, feelings are just a temporary emotions that we have. It's just a temporary feel. A feeling is just something temporary that we have, and they don't actually determine the future. This is the reason why most people don't want to go for success as most, because when we think, I don't know if I can do it, I don't know if I'm going to succeed in life, I don't know if I can be the best, I don't know if I will be the best. When we follow our desires and feelings, that's the reason why we don't succeed in life, because we keep following the way we feel, and we have to ignore that. This isn't going to take us towards success. This is going to take us far away from success. When we keep following the way we feel, when we keep worshipping our emotions, when we keep worshipping our desires. And for anyone out there who's struggling with success, every time you have a bad feeling, every time you feel like doing something, always ask in your head, is that feeling leading me towards something good or bad? Because you always have to think about it, not just feel about it and think that's it. This is why we don't succeed in life. Every time I want to take an action in life, is it necessary? Is it good? Will it take me towards somewhere in life? Will I eventually reach that success? It's all about the thoughts that we have in our mind, that we have in our brain, the way we think, the way we feel, the way we act, and the way we do in life. And it's important that you won't win in life unless you believe in yourself. You know, there's one question I want to ask. I'm not sure if there's anyone watching me, but if there's someone watching me, you can give your answer in the chat. There's one question I want to ask. Most of the time, do you believe you make choices based on how you feel or based on your mindset? Be honest. If anyone is watching this, can you please type in the chat? Every single time you want to make a choice in life, do you make a choice based on how you feel, or do you make a choice based on your mind? Like, you think through it and then you decide. Most people, they decide quickly based on feelings. The way I feel like exercising, so I'm going to do. If I don't feel like it, I don't do it. But the second one is a lot more stronger, the mindset. You thinking about it through. You're sitting there, you're thinking about it, and you're analyzing, and then you're deciding to make an appropriate decision. Now, I don't know if anyone is watching my live. Or if anyone can see my live. But if anyone is really watching my live, then can you please answer, do you think your thoughts are coming from the way you think or the way you feel? In other words, do you decide based on how you feel, or do you decide based on your mindset and the way you view things? Anyways, in life, don't make choices based on the way you feel, based on the way you want to, based on the way you want life to go. Because when you follow your feelings, you're gonna be in your comfort zone. Following your feelings is automatically most likely taking you towards your comfort zone. When you don't follow your feelings and you have a control over your mind, you're automatically step out of your comfort zone and you enter the fear zone, and then from the fear zone into the learning zone, and then from the learning zone into the growth zone. And it's a process. It takes time, defeating mental thoughts, defeating those battles, those urges, of those feelings that we have. It's not easy, it's challenging, it's hard, but it's definitely possible to defeat those thoughts if we just believe in ourselves, if we just have confidence in ourselves, and if we just, say to ourselves that I am the one. We say to ourselves that I am the one, I can do it, I will learn, I know I can do it. Sometimes when we want to make decisions in life, most of it happens because of the way we feel. And I know I'm repeating the same thing again because I'm sort of running out of ideas. I'm about to end the live soon. But it's always about just making choices based on your mind. Building a mindset is very important. You have to build a mindset that allows you to make mature choices. Because most people don't have a mindset, most people make choices automatically based on the feeling. And when that happens, you will make choices based on, oh, you know what, that feels great. You know what, that feels good. Yeah, you know what, that feels amazing. You're going to keep making choices based on the way you feel. That's not going to take you anywhere in life. If you truly want success in life, if you truly want to be the best, if you truly want to feel the best, it doesn't matter if you have energy or not. It doesn't matter if you're energetic. To be honest, I'm not really energetic most of the time. Sometimes I have energy. Sometimes I don't have energy. Sometimes my dopamine is way above my baseline. Sometimes my dopamine is way below my baseline. Right now, my dopamine is way below my baseline, so I kind of feel a bit crap while I'm talking on that live. But I'm just trying to go live and talk consistently daily, no matter how I feel. And this is life. We just have to keep going no matter what life hits at us. We just have to keep growing in life. We just have to have consistency. We just have to believe in ourselves. We just have to love ourselves. And we just have to do. And very important, if you want to grow in life, don't follow your desires. Don't follow your feelings. Don't worship and make choices based on how you feel. It's very important that you make choices, and you make choices based on the way you build your mindset. And how can you build a mindset? if you act on discipline a lot more, like you exercise when you don't feel like it, if you build positive thoughts, like you practice saying something positive about yourself daily, such as I am handsome, I am cute, I am smart, I can win in life, if you just believe in yourself, if you just be yourself, if you just try your best, if you really just put yourself out into the world and achieve a lot of goals, which is possible, but that's only if you don't worship your feeling. We live in a world where most people, they want the least resistance in life. They want things to be more comfortable, and they don't want hardships, because no one likes hardships. You know, hardships doesn't feel nice. Sorry, excuse me. Hardships doesn't feel nice. Hardships feels uncomfortable. It feels, I don't know if it's going to take me anywhere in life. And that's the reason why we don't succeed in life, because when we follow our desires, when we follow the way we feel, we're not going to be successful in life. It's important that you believe in yourself, you have confidence, and you try to do what you can do without letting any feeling or any negative feeling stop you from what you want to achieve in your goal. That's all what I have to say. Have confidence in yourself, believe in yourself, love yourself, never stop achieving your goals in life. I promise you, you will win. You will win, you can win, and you are going to win if you just believe in yourself, love yourself. Don't let your feelings control your mind. Control your mind before it controls your feelings. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Ahmed, and have a good day. Bye.